What's it like having both Misha and Alex together?
Yeah, because we had that in Tombstone. It was exciting. To speak on Misha's behalf, I think it was more thrilled than he's ever been, because a lot of the brutality that usually gets, aimed towards Misha was now kind of split up between Alex and Misha. So he finally had somebody that he was trying to kind of pull pranks on as well.
I believe it's like, misery loves company.
Yeah, I think that's the official. It's good. You know what? Before, not even anything to do with their characters, when Alex first came on, I was like, he actually reminds me a lot of a young Misha. Just his personality type. He's playing a character, so he's taking it very seriously and working very hard, and he's making some decisions, and he's a very intelligent young man, very talented. And
Misha 2.0.
Yeah, Misha 2.0. So to see them together, and the irony is that we work with him so much more than Misha has. We were excited. We were like, oh, there's another character, and going to give us some time off. And now Misha, he's like, in the first 5 episodes, I think he's with Alex 2 days or something. It's great. I like the way they play off each other. And I've always said, obviously the show kind of hinges on the relationship between Sam and Dean, but I feel like the world is enriched by seeing the way they interact with other people and seeing the way Cass interacts with other people and with Jack as well. So it's neat.
In episode 5, we saw that Billy sent Dean back because he and Sam
You're allowed to say Billy?
Yeah. Well, we saw it.
They saw it.
Because they're important. Is there going to be some indication of why that might be specifically now, or are they just still the most important guys in the universe?
Says you.
Yeah, I mean, I want to throw titles around, but
yeah, we haven't really found out why just yet. We know we're important for some reason, but true to supernatural form, I think it'll be a surprise to Sam and Dean and Jared and Jensen. So we're doing 11 right now, and I think the brothers have always felt like they have a higher cause and a greater calling. So I think they're looking forward to figuring out what exactly it means.
In this week's episode, we see the depth of the loss of faith that Dean has. How does Kaz's return affect that, if it does, and how will that progress as the season goes on?
it obviously affects it big time, because it's when at the end of last season and the beginning of this season, we do see that Dean is just kind of like given up, so to speak. So the return of Cass has kind of ignited that fire again. He's got some hope and motivation to dig a little deeper and see what we can figure out. Because if he was written off and Mom was written off, well then maybe there's a few other people that shouldn't have been written off, and we figure that out as the series continues to move on. So yeah.
Sure, the boys. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, please, I had something that was absolutely not. When I heard the return of Cass, what isn't it called? The Return of Innocence? Is it Enigma? Like Enya? Enya. It's a return of.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. Can we play that every time we say the return of Cass? Sorry. See, like I said,
should have just cut him off.
To live inside this for.
How much are Dean and Sam looking into questioning how Cass got back, this weird entity that brought him back?
Dean's a little less questioning,
yeah,
and more
inclined
just
to find out.
Just more accepting of, I don't care how it happened, we got our buddy back.
Yeah, I think Sam is probably the between Sam and Dean. Sam is probably the chef than the consumer. He's like, where Dean eats the pizza, Sam's like, what kind of cheese is that? And what kind of blah, blah. So I think Sam is really looking to find out what happened and how did it happen. Yeah. Also, not just because of Sam's intellectual curiosity, but Sam still wants Mom back. And heck, if we can start calling out who we want back, I'm sure there are a lot of people Sam wouldn't mind to bring back. So I think Dean is so relieved to have that win he's looking for, and have his buddy back, have our buddy back. Mm-hmm. Sam's like, okay, it is great, I agree, but to quote Dean, the other shoe's probably going to drop. So what else can this person do?
You guys, so some of the best Supernatural episodes are those out-of-the-box episodes.
Mm-hmm.
So what did you guys think when you heard about the Scooby-Doo animated episode, and what are you excited about it?
Well, we've been working on it since, when was that, like February or March that we did the
I think we found out about it like January.
Yeah, and we did. We've already laid down all the audio for it, which was
Laid down some sick beats.
which was really fun. They put Jared, myself, and Misha into a studio there and recorded the whole thing, so it'll all be documented.
We'll probably still have to do
may or
some
may not be a
pickups
good
and
thing.
some changes. And stuff.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll have to do some additional stuff, but just working on it from that perspective and what little we've done so far was very enjoyable. We've already seen some. There's a word for it, like the preview. Not a previs, but it's
Animatics.
Animatics.
Is it the
Sure.
animatics?
It used to be
Where it's
cells,
like
I
a
guess, but now it's
loose sketch
loose rendering.
Exactly.
of
But
kind
moving
of a loose
sketch.
rendering of
Yeah.
a moving sketch of our dialogue put into that, and so that was pretty cool.
I grew up watching Scooby-Doo, and I remember when the Scooby-Doo movies came out, and they wanted me to try out for Shaggy. I was young, and Lillard's great. I fought not to do it. I was like, I don't want to. It's like I'm a big James Bond fan. Not that I could ever be James Bond. Someone's like, would you try out? I was like, no, I wouldn't, because I want to watch that as something I enjoy.
What about a
That
James
having been
Bond
said,
villain?
Sure, I want to be like, if I can wear a mask, like Daniel Craig was in Star Wars. And
What about a Bond girl?
Always. That I'd make an exception for that. But I think I'm more excited that I'm really excited for Scooby-Doo to be a part of the supernatural lore, but I'm more excited for the supernatural lore to be a part of the Scooby-Doo canon. Like, that's cool for me, you know what I mean? That now there's a footnote about supernatural when people are talking about Scooby-Doo. I hope we can do more of it. The Meta episodes are great. I actually just watched Friendship Mistake.
Such a great
It's
episode.
great. It's
Yeah.
great. I watched it. I don't know if I'd seen it in years and years. And I watched it and I was laughing, and I was like, I pulled Ackles and I was like, you gotta watch this time. They put makeups on us, the bastards. Like, I laughed out loud at a lot of it. I think this is going to be a similar one. It's nerve-wracking to make when you're such a fan of something. It certainly causes some anxiety, but they seemed happy with it.
Yeah, you don't want to mess it up. You
Yeah.
want to do it
Yeah,
justice.
you want to do it
Is
justice.
Dean gonna hit on Daphne?
Everybody.
What do you think?
And it's Castiel the Scrappy.
Yes, exactly. He's our little scrappy dude. It's great. Let's get some over here before we.
Yeah,
Alexander had said that Dean is really at home in the Tombstone episode. What can you kind of tease about that coming up?
Well, Dean and also Jensen. I don't think it's any shock that I've always been kind of a fan of the iconic symbol of a cowboy and everything that comes along with that. So, fan of Western movies and everything. So when I read that Dean gets all excited about it and decides to play the part up, so to speak, I of course got excited as well. And I think there's a nice slow-mo montage of some snakeskin boots and hat and the whole bit. But instead of playing FBI agents, I get to play Texas Rangers, which is kind of
It's
fun.
fun to see Dean geek out. As
Yeah.
Sam, it's fun to see Dean childish stuff.
Yeah, it was a fun episode, and I like those episodes to kind of lighten it up a bit and allow that humor to kind of come show its face a little bit more.
Yeah.